Time now to go in depth on this Tuesday, and today we're going to talk about the cost of dual enrollment. Those are courses a high school student takes and gets credit for both at the high school level and for college. Up until now, it was free for schools and students, but a new law requires districts to help fund the program. Schools are now working together on a compromise to try to figure out how to pay for it all. We have an in-depth look today at how that all may happen. Joining me right now is Dr. William Law, the president of St. Petersburg College. Dr. Law, finally get a chance to meet you.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Interesting things that are going on. Let's talk about, we got to define a couple of things right now. Okay, what is dual enrollment? When you hear that phrase, what's that mean?
Dual enrollment is a college course that is taught to a student currently enrolled in high school. We do it 2 or 3 different ways. We can have our professor out at the high school. We can acquire the services of a high school instructor who has the suitable credentials, or some students take the course on our campus. So it meets a different whole range of student needs, but it's a St. Pete College course taught to a high school student.
Okay, why would a high school student want to take a college course?
Well, you know, it's very popular. We have just about 3,000 students taking some form of dual enrollment, and candidly, there are a lot of students who want to get a head start on their college experience. So while they're still in high school, if they can earn some college credits, they get it for free, which is why parents love it for sure. But a lot of students can get a good handful. You get as much as a year. In fact, we have students who get an associate degree while they're still in high school.
Wow.
So you can bank a bunch of college credit before you leave high school, and that has some real value.
And as we always say, one of the values of it is that rather than going to, and I'm 4 kids, okay? Yeah. I'm thinking those first classes at UF when they were talking 500 to 1,000 people in a class, you go to St. Pete College, a lot of individual attention.
And that's what we like about it. It's a chance for us to engage with some college-ready students. The students today are bright and enthusiastic, and our friends in Pinellas County do a great job with students. And we want a chance to see if we can't convince more of those students to stay with us and not just pack up and take off.
Okay, the legislature, in its infinite wisdom, I always use that sign when we talk about the legislature, has decided that dual enrollment, I mean, was free right now, right?
That's right.
And now they want to make the school districts pay for that.
Right. Let's be careful. The students won't pay.
Okay, so
either way, the students still going to get it for free. So I want to be sure nobody misunderstands that part, because that's key.
Right.
This has been a very popular and growing program. As cost of college goes up, more and more students are interested in doing this, and as the presidents of the colleges started to fuss a little bit about, you know, we never got the tuition part, and the state paid their part. As we fussed a little bit about it, the legislature was listening to us, and they said, well, we can't pay for it, but we have a better plan. We'll let the school district write a check for you, okay? And good friends like Superintendent Grego and I said, I need the money. I don't need Pinellas County School District's money, and there must be other sources that we could use. Long and short is that's where we are. Superintendent Grego and I are working on a plan that keeps things just the way they are. Students won't know that there's a change. We'll figure out some of the finances behind the scenes. He's been a great partner in working through a tough issue. Yeah,
it is. Now, can you tell us any of those details yet? I mean, I had talked to Dr. Grego earlier for the program that we do on the PCS Journal, and he kind of gave me some details, but you got any more?
Well, yeah, it's important to recognize we've been doing this for a long time. It's been very, very successful.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, the school district was already putting some money in, and we were putting some money in. And then what we decided to do is let's look at all the donated services that both sides are putting in. Because if he sends me a check and I pay him what he was previously donating, we can make things work out a little bit better, right? So we decided to do a sort of a full cost model to be sure we had the big picture. And lo and behold, it's really looking like by the time we account for all of what we're doing, both sides will end up putting in about what they put in previously. So we can keep things the way they are.
And joining me now is Dr. Michael Grego from Pinellas County Schools. Good to talk to you, Doctor.
Great to be here.
Okay, in the past, who was responsible for paying for these dual enrollment classes?
Well, we both were. The state was providing and is providing funds for both the state college and the school district to provide dual enrollment.
And dual enrollment was positive because of what?
A tremendous way to transition to post-secondary education. It's a great option for students, and we want to provide in Pinellas County schools. We want to provide as many options, whether it's advanced placement, dual enrollment, industry certifications to our students. And dual enrollment is one of those.
Okay, so what was the logic? What were you told is the logic behind now changing it to making you pick up the burden for these classes?
Well, we learned that there was a part of a bill, Senate Bill 1514, that required the school districts all of a sudden to be picking up the tuition. It shocked many of the all of the superintendents, in fact, across the state. We met with a select group of presidents. Dr. Law, our president in St. Pete College, was a part of that group, and said, you know, this is an unfunded mandate. We don't get paid any more for tuition than the state college system does, and it has a potential of really hurting students and parents.
So how much could this end up costing the district if you had to pick up the tab for it?
When we calculated that in Pinellas County right now this year, because we have a great number of students doing dual enrollment, it's about $1.7 million that we're looking at as a quote-unquote tuition bill.
Yeah, and as tight as budgets have been, people will say, well, out of the size of a regular budget, $1 million isn't much. But when you've cut so much already, $1 million is a big deal.
And it came to us after the session, and we need to get to with our local delegation, but it came to us at a very late moment of our session where budgets were pretty much done for the following year. Schedules were accomplished, teacher schedules were accomplished, student schedules were done already.
Yeah, and behind the scenes, folks, I heard something about it was kind of like a cost shifting. The junior colleges thought they could get some more money out of this, and they're in a tight financial squeeze. So what have you and Dr. Law been talking about specifically about how you kind of want to solve this gap that may have existed?
Well, specifically, we're going about it in two different ways. One is short-term and one is long-term. The short-term is that school starts in about 4 or 5 weeks, and so we are developing an agreement between the community college and the school district to cost shift the expense of having those courses on our campus so that it becomes a revenue neutral account for the school district and the college. So that'll get us through the short term.
Okay.
The long term, though, Al, is to really fix legislation and to go back to the House and the Senate and explain. I really believe that this was unintentional, the consequence. And so have a better understanding of what we're doing to students, what we're doing to parents in the state of Florida.
Okay. I'm not a financial guy, so tell me what do you mean specifically cost shifting? What are you going to do? Will there be any exchange of dollars this first time around? Or I mean, what's the college going to get versus what you're going to give, et cetera?
Well, we have to, by law. We have to pay the tuition, and then reversing that, what I will be doing is we have a lot of our dual enrollment courses on our campus. And part of board policy is we will be charging the state college system the lease of those classrooms pretty much on our campus.
Okay.
And that'll be cost neutral.
Okay, and then in the long run, if the legislature doesn't come through, I mean, how long can you do this cost shifting?
Well, and Dr. Law and I have committed to one another and to this community. We're going to do things that are in the best interest of students and try to steer the laws the same way.
Yeah, and you know, these kids that are in dual enrollments, I've had a chance to speak to the college kids that are duly enrolled out at St. Petersburg College. They have an academic high school as well. And I mean, these are kids that they want to succeed, and they're going to succeed no matter what.
Oh, this is our future. This is a tremendous program, and in fact, we've placed accelerated course offerings in this high school grading system. So we as a state have incentivized dual enrollment, advanced placement, as I said. So this is really kind of a blow to the last 10 years of really promoting dual enrollment.
Yeah, and in reality, because, you know, Dr. Law or Dr. Grego, people are asking questions like, is a college education now worth it, given the fact that I may come out with $20,000 to $30,000 to $40,000 in debt?
Well, you're right, and dual enrollment is free to the parents and to the students. And so we're picking up and we're splitting that cost currently between the state college system and the school district.
Okay, will the word get out so you don't send a mixed message to the kids who are kind of going, well, is it good or is it bad? Am I going to get in it? Is it going to fail? Am I going to need money? Blah, 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 blah.
Everything that when they left the school year, their schedules were set. Their schedules are going to remain the same. We're not changing a thing. So they can expect when they come back to school in August that if they signed up for dual enrollment, those dual enrollment classes are going to be there. Their offerings are going to be there. We have that commitment from not only our school board, but also the state college, St. Pete College. So we're good to go for this year.
All right, Dr. Grego, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope it all works out good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Grego also warned that some other districts may have to drop dual enrollment programs because they can't find the money. By the way, you can see this in past in-depth segments on Bay News 9 on demand. Channel 342, of course, will keep our eyes on this subject matter as well.